I'm Paul Lemick of the Weather Channel. It is time to have a look at what could hopefully become a good morning. In the Northeast, the good morning looks like it's going to be problematic, and that we'll see some icy, wintry messes. Let's talk about some unwinter-like temperatures, or at least unseasonably warm, a little bit above the old average here. Nation's icebox still cold enough, but not incredibly cool. About 10 degrees above average for the day Thursday. A bit cooler around Texas, though. Around Dallas and Houston, temps are a little bit cooler. Cases in point here. Around Dallas, about 49, around 59, though, around Houston and Pasadena, Texas. Look at this, though. 26 was the high, about 10 above average for International Falls. Chicago, about on normal here, about the average of 33 around Chicagoland, 36 for the city, and around White Plains. Not a bad day, not unseasonably cold. 27 for Boston, 78 in South Florida, around Miami, around Boca, 80 for Orlando. The West Coast, 70 was the high temperature around Los Angeles, 56 around Fremont and San Francisco, 45 for Portland, and 48 for Seattle. As we look at Alaska, -1 for Fairbanks, 23 for Anchorage, -7 McGrath. Look at that Barrow, -9. A bit on the cool side. You want some warmth? Could deal with some showers from Oahu to Maui, but expect a little bit of light rain through here in case you happen to be moving around for Friday. But Lihue, 75, Honolulu, 82, and Hilo, 86 was the high temperature on Thursday. Here's how our day is starting up here. Big messes impending, but just a couple of days of some showers on the way for the northwestern coast of the U.S. You can even see kind of that little swirl there, that action. You see a comma shape in the clouds. It starts doing that wiggle thing, that wrap, that little backward-shaped comma spinning counterclockwise. That's the low pressure, really revving up. The warm front is already on shore. The warm front is the leading edge of warmer air. Pretty classic system, a little warm air ahead of it, cool air back behind it. Cold front will move in. And the cold front has, again, some cooler air back behind it. But ahead of it, in what we call the warm sector, moisture. Pretty substantial feed of it being drawn in. So, yeah, we've got wet weather to contend with. Another way to look at it, too, is look at the water vapor. It's a pretty good telling tale of the happenings here. The brighter the white, the more moisture that's being represented here. But your eyes are drawn there. I mean, mine are. Look at that. Just pretty amazing batch of bright white there. This shows, again, where you see the whitest of the clouds here, the most water vapor. And, yeah, that translates into a lot of moisture available, a lot of instability, a little extra lift here, a little extra of lift, moisture, and instability, some of those factors we need to kick off big storms. We will have some severe potential throughout the day and to run Florida, around Tampa, Orlando, too, even a little bit northward here. Could be kind of a rough day here with lots of storminess. You can also see some more moisture kind of being focused here along a big frontal mess hanging out. I'll show you momentarily. But the Northeast, plenty of messes. A lot of this moisture is moving over a warm front. Now, cold front will pass you at your feet before your head. Moves in like this. But a warm front moves a little different. Warm front moves like that. Warm front doesn't dig low to the ground first. It will kind of pass you at your head before your feet as it comes in just like this. In the warm air that's overriding the cold air at the surface, will start to kick some moisture kind of up and over the front. It's not waiting around for the front to make the move. It's going to fly on over it, keep moving. So the warm air won't reach the Northeast before the moisture gets there, and with the cold air in place at the surface, we'll see some freezing rain messes. We have some cold air way up there in a few spots. We'll see some snow. We could be seeing some snow changing over to rain, though, around New York City. Philly, probably all rain. Even southward toward D.C., around Georgetown, around Rockville, Rehoboth Beach, we'll keep the rain around. But could see some real messes here around Hartford and Providence, and again around toward New Canaan and the city, Stanford. Do expect a potential for some messes here, but looks like it should change over to some rain, at least in the immediate city area. On toward Boston and around Braintree, expect snow for most of the day. Could see a mix, though, kind of south of Albany. Taking 87 could be a bit of a problem. Toward Erie and maybe kind of just especially the east of Cleveland, that's where we could see some additional snowfall. Here's kind of a big look at it here. We see the dark green, too. A lot of moisture here as this front hangs out. It's a focusing mechanism for wet weather. And we're going to deal with a lot of wet weather throughout the Carolinas, even some flood potential, as you see from the graphic at the top of the screen. Still wet weather for the West Coast, and even beyond the period of noon today, expect more snow to hang on for the Northeast as well. Strong storm potential to severe weather could be seen into Florida. We'll keep you on top of that here at the Weather Channel. A bit of wind, but the biggest of the wind will probably be here not too far from Portland. Looks a bit windy throughout the day. A couple of spots, including the valleys of California, with some foggy conditions. There's a look at the mess. More snow in the teens around commute time for Boston. Even the city, eventually some rain and very, very windy. New Orleans okay, but Atlanta wet. Miami looking wet as well. Minneapolis some flakes to fly. Chicago maybe a couple of flakes too. San Francisco mostly clouds. Northern California, around Portland and Seattle, it looks pretty rainy. Here's a look at the lows as we start off our day. Here's a look at the morning. There's the mess. Still, we see the kind of orangish shading representing the chance of some freezing precipitation. Looks pretty messy there. Midday hours, no major changes, and even the evening, still dealing with a mess throughout the Northeast. Here's a look at that mess again, and here's a look at a little warmth across the southern tier of states. We'll get travel-wise coming up next. Stay tuned.